What's going on, my fellow rock and rollers? Now, this was a story that happened a few years ago, and it's one of the most bizarre feuds that shook the world of rock and roll. But this story dates back to 2014, and it really started with CNN anchor Anderson Cooper on his show. Now, I haven't seen his show in a long time, but he used to at least have a segment called The Ridiculous, which calls out ridiculous news items of the day. And on his program one night in October of 2014, he took a swing at the Smashing Pumpkins frontman Billy Corgan for appearing on the front cover of a hometown cat magazine called Paw Chicago for their summer issue. Not only that, but his Twitter page teased that night's episode with the tweet, "Where are they now? From 6 million selling albums to posing with cats?" Now, to be fair, I love animals. I have 2 dogs, so I think it's ridiculous, no pun intended, to go after the guy for doing that. But on top of that, Anderson Cooper also criticized Corgan for appearing in a local furniture ad in his hometown as well. And the furniture ad was both sad and hilarious at the same time. And here's the news clip of Anderson Cooper goofing on Billy Corgan.
Time now for the ridiculous, and tonight I'd like to invite you to come with me on a musical trip down memory lane. Not too far back, just about 20 years, to when the shirts were flannel, the rock was alternative, and Smashing Pumpkins burst into the mainstream with their album Siamese Dream. So maybe the guitar sound is a bit derivative of My Bloody Valentine, but that's besides the point. Siamese Dream came out in 1993 and sold 6 million copies worldwide, and is listed on Rolling Stone's 500 greatest albums of all time. Smashing Pumpkins made more records, but you really don't hear much about them much these days, until that is now. Because tonight I'm happy to report that frontman Billy Corgan is back and edgier than ever on the cover of Paw's Chicago magazine. Now, I don't know if you can read the sub-headline there. It says, Billy Corgan's Siamese Dream. Well played, Paw's Chicago, well played. Now, this is a kind of jarring event for a couple of reasons. One being that it made us Google what else Billy Corgan has been up to, and apparently just last year, he was in a commercial for a Chicago furniture store.
Wait, that's a Walter E. Smith chair.
Walter E. Smith.
So perhaps Billy Corgan is, I don't know, offers alternative rocker, but I think maybe there's more to this. Maybe he's being ironic, or maybe when the cool rock stars start doing less rock starry things, it kind of makes us face our own mortality. See, I want R.E.M. to stay just the way I know and love them. I don't want Everybody Hurts to suddenly be used in an Excedrin commercial. I don't ever want to see a product called Eddie Vedder's Prune Jam. Maybe the internet is the real problem here. There was a time that nobody outside of Chicago would have ever seen the cover of Paw's Chicago magazine. To the pinnacles of cool from days gone by, do what you gotta do. You'll always have a rock and roll in our hearts and on the ridiculous.
Now, strangely enough, Billy Corgan wasn't the first person to respond to Anderson Cooper's segment. Paw's Chicago first responded by photoshopping Cooper's head onto a magazine about dogs. Now, Corgan would have his say shortly afterwards on Twitter, stating, "Sorry to disappoint, but when I'm not raising Cain for a great organization like Paw Chicago, I'm still making real music. I realize you're too busy being a globalist shill to know the difference, but there are those of us who do as we like," he'd say. Now, Corgan wasn't done just yet, as by the end of the month he started selling FU Anderson Cooper shirts at one of his concerts in his hometown of Chicago, and proceeds from the shirts would go to a local charity. Even 3 years later in 2017, Corgan appeared with a newly reunited Smashing Pumpkins lineup on Howard Stern's radio show on Sirius XM, and Stern brought up his feud with Anderson Cooper and asked the musician whether he would like an apology from the CNN anchor, to which Corgan replied, "I wouldn't want one. It wouldn't mean anything to me. I've seen enough from his ilk. He's playing for a team that doesn't have my best interest at heart, and I would argue America's best interest at heart." Now, it would be ironic that years later, a leaked tape of Howard Stern would surface from 2013, in which he claimed he helped revive Billy Corgan's career in 2012 during an internal team meeting. So that does it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the feud, and who do you side with? Personally, I side with Billy Corgan because he's just doing something that he liked. I personally side with Billy Corgan because I think he's being a genuine person and helping raise money for a good cause. But let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And if you guys want to support my channel, simply watch another video or go check us out on Patreon. Take care.